Hello everybody, it's me, Tonic TZW, and I'm back again, this time with the Mahan in a video I've titled Survive to Fight. In this one, we are the only destroyer in the game, and that means, given that destroyers can change the balance of the game, that I need to do whatever I can to stay alive. So at the start of the game, we're going to do what DDs are paid to do, is we're going to go out and spot. And I'll always say that the three rules of a destroyer are to spot, capture, and kill, in that order with domination. For capture the base, it's the other way around. It is spot, kill, and capture. So our objectives here are go out, get the enemy spotted, and just see, as we call it, what the disposition of forces is, where they are on the map, where they're moving to, and which ships are where. So looking at it, our team is staying quite spread out in a line abreast, pushing forward. We've got one cruiser on the right that's pushed straight in towards the edge of the island, and I think we've got another cruiser and a battleship out there as well. We do get the Emil Burton spotted, and I call for fire on him. And we also get the Queen Elizabeth spotted. Now that Queenie is going to be a bit of a thorn for me a little bit later in the game. So I'm just looking at my range circle, my detectability circle, and I'm not running twist and track on this one. I'm running. I can't remember what it is. I think I've got reduced reload, because I'm running Vincent Mordoff on this one. But we're calling for that Emil to be targeted. There are two cruisers and the battleship there, but he's stuck behind an island, and there is a battleship pushing through behind him. Now, given how fast the cap circle is turning, we are quite certain that there are two, if not more, ships on that cap, which means that the enemy destroyer might be there too. And just as we say that, there's a set of torpedoes come past. We get detected. There's the Vasterast. He's using the old trick of backing out and firing his torpedoes. We're going to get some shots on him. We pop our smoke and we slow down and reverse. But we're not going to sit in this smoke, because he's only fired one set of torpedoes, not two. So I know what's going to happen next. The second set is going to come straight out at me. We get the Omaha spotted as we drop out of smoke, and we're going to turn away from them because we don't want to push in and get engaged too soon. The torpedoes are running, the Omaha has turned into the island and started reversing out, and this is very kindly going to be the end of him in the most stylish way possible. We get a dev strike on the Vasteras, and the Omaha in reverse is obviously starting to panic a bit at all those torpedoes coming towards him, and he goes out for a double strike. It's a shame it wasn't a double dev. And this is where I play for survival, because although that Emil is there and he is ripe for me to shoot at, there are two battleships staring straight at me. I know they're almost reloaded, so I'm going to hold my fire and run back towards my smoke and the cap. Now that Emil is just going balls to the wall straight out. He's already taken one cruiser, I think. And the Queen Elizabeth dev strikes our Nuremberg. And I'm looking and I'm seeing a Koenig pushing. The Queen Elizabeth is pushing too, and they're obviously following the lead of that Emil. But as he pushes out the other side, I'm going to move into the capture point. So I am spotting, and I am now doing the second part of my job, which is capturing. And that Emil has taken out, I think, both cruisers on that side of the map. But thankfully, those two battleships, I think it's an Ismail and a Nevada, are doing their bit, and they pick up the kill. Now the Queen obviously saw that happening and decided to back out of it, which means that our torpedoes are going to run out just before they get a strike. There are two other battleships still at the 1 o'clock position on the minimap, They are behind an island, so I'm pushing through the cap again to get sights through and see if we can get those spotted. I'm a little bit too hasty here with my torpedoes on this Koenig, and I do push a little bit too close while I'm turned broadside to the Queen Elizabeth, who knows that I'm out there, and this is where she is going to do me some harm. And I lose about 2/3 of my health for that, but push out back outside of my 5.5 detection range. I should have been a little bit more careful there because it could have changed how I played this game a little bit. But we get a torpedo on, we get a cap defend, we get a flood. He's fixed that. But we get a hit on the battleship behind him and another flood, which is, I think, is that one ticking? Yeah, that one is ticking. So we've got torps running on the Koenig again. The Queen Elizabeth, even though it's still pretty much even Stevens in the game at this point, is turning and running for it. Now we know that the Koenig has fixed a flood, so we are going to try and get a fire on him. But we get a torpedo hit and another flood. We get a fire. We keep shooting, hoping for... In fact, there we go. We got a double fire. And then we're going to turn, go skinny, and avoid this full salvo of AP coming in. So with the enemy destroyer out of the game so early on, they've had to commit their larger ships into that cap. Now, those two battleships back there are spamming HE, but I pick up the kill with my fires. Now, that Koenig was broadside to them. There are no cruisers left on the map, and there are no destroyers left on the map. So why those battleships were spamming HE, I have no idea. But the Nevada is coming in, and I learned from my lesson with the Koenig, and I'm actually going to wait for him to turn into the corner of the island, because I imagine he's going to try and bow tank the two battleships that are still way back at the rear of the map. Now, if you look across to the left of the map, you'll see that we have 3 ships there that have pushed all the way through to Red's starting cap, and they're actually going to sail out of it. And that's going to give me a little bit of a bonus later on. So the Nevada has hit the brakes on the corner, as predicted. He is going to bow tank. I've got torpedoes running on him, and so I'm in smoke, and I'm just going to keep wellying these HE rounds out there and get as much fire damage onto this guy as possible. Now, although he didn't come straight round the corner, which is what I was expecting, he hits reverse, and my torpedoes run out right before they get to him, which is a shame. The battleships have now loaded AP. They're firing on them. This is, dare I say it, kill sniping. So they're both trying to pick up this kill here. After I've done all the damage, I pick up a high caliber on 96,500 damage. I'm still raining on the Nevada, and I can start to pull out because his guns are looking in the other direction, and the Queen Elizabeth has run to the other side of the map. So there's another fire on the Nevada. We know that he can't put that out, so he's just going to burn. And there again, the battleships are still spamming HE. I don't know what they're trying to do. Nevada damage controls. We're still laying on the fire for him. And just as he gets his guns round on us, he pops off back to port. So I get a little bit cheeky there with a "that's how it's done," just to signal to those two battleships at the back that you're not playing the game right. Now, the Queen Elizabeth is, what, 16, 17 k's away, edge of the map, and I'm looking and I realise that those 3 ships have sailed straight through B cap instead of turning it, and I decide that the base XP of a full solo cap is worth much more than chasing a battleship to the back of the map in the hope that I might get there and kill it for a Kraken before the other ships pick it up. So I'm going to use this time wisely. And as I said earlier, there are 3 roles of a destroyer: spot, capture and kill. And obviously, if you are able to survive the early part of the game, you can then control and dominate a map like this where you are the only destroyer, especially when you're around big capital ships like battleships. We have the Dev Strike, we have the Double Strike, we've got a high caliber, we've got one solo cap, and we have 11 cap defense, 4 kills, and we're going to sail into this cap and go for a full solo cap as well. And please excuse me while I mute my mic and take a swig of my coffee, because talking for 15 minutes straight is actually quite difficult to do. Now, although we did have a Pensacola out there chasing that Queen Elizabeth, the Queen Elizabeth did a rather good job and slapped him back to port as well. She's burning, she's riding the line. If anything, she possibly cost Red Team this game, because rather than continuing the push and trying to get shots onto some of our battleships, she decided to turn and run. I say she for the ship, is it he for the player? Dare we assume a player's gender these days? I don't know. I know there are girl gamers out there, so if you are a girl gamer and you are watching, drop something in the comments and let us know your gamer tag, because it seems that they are few and far between on console games like this. But we're on 855 points, so we aren't far off winning this game on a points total of 1000. There are 3 minutes to play. Now I've got that full solo cap, I then decide I'm going to try and push out and run and get within shooting range of this Queen Elizabeth. We haven't got the torpedo range for it. We probably haven't got the time to get within torpedo range. But every little helps, right? So we are going to continue to push as fast as we can with what health we've got and try and bring this ship into range. The Queen is busy with the Bayern. The Bayern is busy with the Queen. He doesn't need will to rebuild. He's got plenty of health left on him. If he did need will to rebuild at this point, rather than going to try and get the Queen into range, I would actually turn and stay hidden and sail beside that Bayern, just to keep them alive. So that's something always to be aware of as a destroyer as well. You can keep a ship alive. Just as we get the Queen into range, we get a couple of volleys off, but the shots aren't even going to land before the points total hits 1000. And there we go for 4 kills, 108,000 damage, Dev Strike, Double Strike, and High Caliber to boot. And we literally finish with more than double the base XP of the second place player on the winning team, which was the Bayern, and that is an accomplishment in itself. However, I think 45 base XP from completing the 3500 base XP heroic mission. So I hope you've enjoyed that one. I hope you can take some tips and tricks away to integrate into your own destroyer play. I'm going to log off now because I'm off to the cinema to see Top Gun tonight. So take care, hit like. If you haven't subscribed, please do. And I'll see you next time. Goodbye.